Have you ever heard of Lilith? A figure shrouded in mystery, she dances through ancient texts and modern interpretations alike. But who is she, really? Let's embark on a journey to uncover the enigmatic figure of Lilith, a character whose story has been woven through various cultures and epochs, each adding its unique thread to the tapestry of her legend. Originating in Babylonian demonology, Lilith was initially portrayed as a winged spirit, preying on expectant mothers and infants. A far cry from the symbol of independence and empowerment that many modern feminists identify her as today. The name Lilith stems from a Sumerian term for female demons or wind spirits, and the earliest known reference to her lies in the Sumerian epic poem Gilgamesh and the Hulupu tree. Over time, depictions of Lilith evolved, reflecting the sensibilities and fears of different societies. In the Bible, she surfaces just once in the book of Isaiah, where she's depicted as a wilderness demoness, a stark contrast to the beautiful naked figure with bird wings and taloned feet portrayed in the Burney relief, an ancient terracotta plaque. From the Hittites to the Egyptians, the Israelites to the Greeks, and even in Renaissance art, Lilith has taken many forms, each one revealing something about the culture that created it. She has been imagined as a half-woman, half-serpent figure, a wilderness demon, and even a symbol of female empowerment. Ancient civilizations used incantations and amulets to safeguard themselves against Lilith's malevolent intentions, while today she is often seen as a symbol of resistance and liberation, particularly in feminist discourse. Regardless of the era or culture, Lilith, with her various guises, has consistently sparked intrigue and fascination. Join us as we delve deeper into the intriguing figure that is Lilith. To understand Lilith, we must first travel back in time to ancient Mesopotamia. In this cradle of civilization, myths and legends were born that would shape human understanding of the world. Among these was the figure of Lilith, a character who originated in Babylonian demonology. In these ancient tales, Lilith was a winged spirit, a malevolent entity that preyed on pregnant women and infants. She was a figure of fear, of danger, and of the unknown. Lilith's story, however, goes beyond just the Babylonian lore. She also appears in the epic Sumerian poem Gilgamesh and the Hulupu tree. This ancient text, one of the earliest pieces of epic literature, provides one of the first written mentions of Lilith. Here, she is portrayed as a demoness living within the trunk of a Hulupu tree, a tree that Gilgamesh, the heroic king, eventually chops down. This act forces Lilith to flee, further establishing her as a symbol of chaos and disruption. One of the most striking depictions of Lilith can be seen on the Burney relief, a terracotta plaque that dates back around 4,000 years. This ancient artifact portrays a beautiful naked figure with bird wings and taloned feet, an image believed by many scholars to represent Lilith. This depiction presents a stark contrast to the monstrous figure of Babylonian lore, suggesting a more complex understanding of Lilith's character. She is not merely a demon, but a powerful, independent entity. These ancient texts and artifacts paint a picture of a figure that embodies both fear and fascination. They show us a Lilith who is both feared for her destructive potential and revered for her power and independence. From these ancient texts and artifacts, we begin to form an image of Lilith, a figure of power and terror, a symbol of independence and disruption, a character whose story has been woven into the fabric of human culture for thousands of years. As we delve deeper into her tale, we will uncover more facets of this enigmatic figure and explore the many ways in which she has been interpreted and reinterpreted throughout history. Now let's turn the pages of the most widely read book in the world, the Bible. Among the numerous figures mentioned in this holy book, one stands out for her mysterious nature and singular mention, Lilith. You'd find her name only once in the entire Bible, in the book of Isaiah to be precise. Isaiah 34:14, which speaks of the desolation of Edom, refers to Lilith as a wilderness spirit. The verse reads, "Wildcats shall meet with hyenas, goat demons shall call to each other. There too Lilith shall repose and find a place to rest." This obscure reference has stirred much curiosity and numerous interpretations. In the biblical context, Lilith is not portrayed as a woman, but rather as a wilderness demoness, a creature of the night. The reference to her is in the context of a prophecy of judgment and desolation, where she is a part of the chaotic wilderness filled with eerie creatures. It's a stark contrast to the Lilith we've come to know from Mesopotamian mythology, isn't it? This portrayal of Lilith as a wilderness spirit demonstrates the Bible's emphasis on moral and spiritual order. It presents Lilith as a symbol of chaos and danger, a force that thrives in the wilderness, a place often associated with spiritual desolation and danger in biblical literature. Over the centuries, this single biblical mention of Lilith has been the subject of much speculation and interpretation. While some believe that Lilith was a specific demoness, others think that Lilith was a general term for female night demons. Despite the ambiguity surrounding her, Lilith remains a fascinating figure within biblical studies, primarily due to her singular mention and the mystery that surrounds her character. In the Bible, Lilith emerges not as a woman, but as a wild and dangerous force. A force that continues to captivate our imagination and provoke our curiosity as we delve deeper into the rich tapestry of biblical narratives. From the Bible, we move on to Jewish tradition, where Lilith takes on yet another form. In the Middle Ages, Jewish tradition began to depict Lilith in a broader context, evolving her character from a wilderness demon to a more complex figure. Intriguingly, she was associated with Adam, the first man, with some tales suggesting a marriage between the two before Eve's creation. The alphabet of Ben Sira, a provocative text from the Middle Ages, presents Lilith as Adam's first wife, who left him due to a dispute over equality. This narrative starkly contrasts with the traditional story of Adam and Eve, introducing Lilith as a symbol of independence and defiance. After her departure from Adam, the text tells us, she was transformed into a demoness, bringing harm to newborn babies and their mothers. This depiction of Lilith as a demoness is further emphasized in Jewish folklore. Here, she is said to prey on infants, particularly boys, during their first week of life, unless protected by amulets or incantations. These tales were so pervasive, they influenced Jewish practices, prompting the creation of amulets to ward off Lilith's malevolent intentions. In these stories, Lilith is portrayed as a night creature, roaming in the darkness, and this association with the night has led to her being linked with nocturnal animals, particularly the owl. The owl, a creature that exists in the liminal space between the known and the unknown, the day and the night, is a fitting symbol for Lilith, who herself inhabits the spaces in between myth, religion, and folklore. In Jewish folklore, Lilith steps out of the wilderness and into the intimate sphere of the household. This evolution of her character shows the profound influence she has had on Jewish tradition, moving from a vague wilderness demon in the Bible to a more defined figure, embodying defiance, independence, and danger within the home. Fast forward to the present day, and Lilith has found a new role as a symbol of feminist empowerment. This evolution of perception is a testament to the fluidity of interpretation that characterizes cultural references. Modern feminists have reinterpreted Lilith's narrative, seeing in her a symbol of independence and empowerment. From a winged spirit preying on pregnant women and infants, to a wilderness demon, and now to a feminist icon, Lilith's transformation is nothing short of remarkable. Her story, as told in ancient texts, portrays her refusal to be subservient. She stands up to Adam, refusing to lay beneath him, asserting her equality. This act of defiance, of standing up against the established order, resonates with the feminist movement. It encapsulates the struggle for equality, the demand for respect, and the courage to challenge patriarchal norms. Lilith's narrative offers a different perspective on the creation story. It presents an alternate narrative where the first woman is not born of a man, but is an entity in her own right. This interpretation speaks to the feminist critique of patriarchal structures and the call for recognition of women as individuals, not as auxiliary to men. Moreover, the image of Lilith as a demoness, a figure of fear and danger, can be seen as a reflection of societal fear towards powerful, independent women. This demonization of female power and autonomy is a theme that resonates with many feminists. It echoes the experiences of many women who face backlash for asserting their independence or challenging the status quo. However, it's important to mention that not all feminists embrace Lilith as a symbol. Some argue that her portrayal as a child-stealing demoness perpetuates harmful stereotypes about women as dangerous or destructive. This debate reflects the diversity of feminist thought and the ongoing conversation about how to interpret and utilize historical and mythological figures. In the eyes of many feminists, Lilith is a woman who refuses to be dominated. She is a symbol of the fight against subjugation, a beacon of resistance against patriarchal norms, and an embodiment of female autonomy and power. From ancient demoness to feminist icon, Lilith is a figure of many faces. Her story unfolds across time and cultures, each one offering a different facet of her mythic persona. Originating in Babylonian demonology, she was feared as a winged spirit preying on expectant mothers and infants. Her tale then travelled across civilizations, to the Hittites, Egyptians, Israelites and Greeks, each adding their own layers to her legend. In the Bible, Lilith's presence is fleeting yet formidable. Mentioned only once in the book of Isaiah, she is painted as a wilderness demoness, adding a layer of mystery to her character. Yet, it's in Jewish tradition where her narrative truly expands. Here she evolves from a fearsome demoness to Adam's first wife, asserting her independence in a way that was both startling and significant for the period. Modern interpretations have added further dimensions to Lilith's persona. Feminist discourse has reinterpreted her as a symbol of empowerment, seeing her refusal to submit to Adam as a rallying cry for gender equality. This transformation from feared demoness to champion of women's rights reveals the fluidity of myth and the power of reinterpretation. Yet, it's not just in texts that we encounter Lilith. Archaeological evidence, like the Burney relief, depicts her as a beautiful naked figure with bird wings and taloned feet. Ancient amulets bearing her image were used for protection against her supposed evil intentions, reinforcing her influence in daily life. In summarizing Lilith's journey, we see a figure who is both feared and revered, a symbol of terror and empowerment. Her myth, much like her character, is complex, multifaceted, and endlessly intriguing. It's a testament to the power of storytelling and the endurance of myth that Lilith, in all her forms, continues to captivate us today. As we have seen, Lilith is a figure as complex as she is captivating. So, what can we take away from our exploration of Lilith? The tale of Lilith, as we've seen, is a tapestry woven with threads from a myriad of cultures and time periods, each adding a unique hue to the depiction of this enigmatic figure. In the sands of ancient Mesopotamia, Lilith was a winged spirit, a harbinger of misfortune to pregnant women and infants. This fear was so profound that ancient incantations and amulets were crafted to ward off her malicious intents. Yet despite this, she was also seen as a figure of beauty, as evidenced in the Burney relief, a terracotta plaque where she is depicted as a stunning figure with bird-like feet and wings. The Hebrew scriptures, meanwhile, portrayed her as a wilderness demon. In the single biblical reference to Lilith in the book of Isaiah, she is depicted as a creature of the barren deserts, a symbol of desolation and chaos. This image of Lilith was further developed in Jewish tradition, particularly during the Middle Ages, where she was often portrayed as the first wife of Adam, a rebellious figure who refused to be subservient. Yet, in the modern era, Lilith has undergone another transformation. Feminists have reinterpreted her as a symbol of independence and empowerment, a figure who refused to be subjugated, redefining her rebellion as a quest for equality. Archaeological and historical evidence, as well as the cross-cultural nature of her myths, attest to the widespread influence of Lilith's narrative. From Sumerian epics to Renaissance art, from biblical verses to feminist discourses, Lilith's story continues to be retold, reshaped and reinterpreted, reflecting the changing societal and cultural contexts. Whether as a demoness or a symbol of empowerment, Lilith continues to resonate with myths. The richness and complexity of Lilith's character serve as a testament to the enduring power of myth and the human desire to make sense of the world around us.